Most people think buying a home in San Francisco is absolutely impossible. Well, today I'm going to tell you how you can buy a $950,000 condo unit in San Francisco for just $350,000. All this and more coming right up. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Sean and I'm a real estate professional here in the Bay Area, and on this channel we go over real estate tips, strategies, and current events to help you learn more about the industry and to help you become a real estate investing boss. So today we're going to talk about a special program called the BMR program. BMR stands for below market rate, and this program is designed specifically for below average income earners, for them to have an opportunity to own some real estate of their own. There are a lot of restrictions to this program, and this is definitely not for someone who wants to buy a property and then rent it out in the future. This is only for people who intend to occupy this as their primary residence. There's a BMR program for almost every major city here in the United States. Just go on Google, type in your city, and then type in BMR program, and it should tell you some of the restrictions behind each program. We're gonna go over the example for San Francisco because everyone knows that San Francisco is a very hot market and it's very, very hard to buy real estate here unless you have a lot of money. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on the website, we're gonna look through the different requirements to get one of these properties, and I'm gonna show you the whole process of what you have to go through in order to get one for yourself. So let's hop right in. All right, so before we get started, let's talk about the actual BMR program. So basically, every time a developer creates a new construction project, they have these beautiful condos or apartment buildings with 100 plus units. The city requires them to make 15% of them into these below market rate units. So if they're condos, then 15% of them have to be sold at below market rate. Or if it's an apartment building, then the landlord has to rent them at these below market rates. Of course, if you convert those into condos in the future, then those below market rate rental units now have to become below market rate condo units for sale. And the reason they do this is to give people a chance. People on the lower pay scale, such as teachers, police officers, firefighters, someone who doesn't make as much as the median. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the San Francisco BMR website and we're going to see what requirements you need to have in order to get your own below market rate unit here in San Francisco. So the first thing you're going to do is go to this website right here, sfmohcd.org. So that stands for the San Francisco Mayor's Office. And the way this works is the city is going to regulate the purchase and sale of each of these below market rate units. So you can't just go and buy one and offer your highest bid. So let's see what are the regulations behind each one. And one thing to note is that because these below market rate units are going to be in these new fancy condominium complexes, they're usually going to have a pretty high HOA. So my friend lives in one of them, and even though her unit was really cheap, she still had to pay about $1,000 a month because of all the amenities that go with that condo complex. So just keep that in mind. You might have very high HOA dues, even though your monthly payments for your mortgage are relatively cheap. So there's a link here of all the BMR home buyer listings. Let's briefly open this up to take a look at what are some of the units that are available. All right, so here we can see the neighborhood, the address, the resale value, and we can also see your sales price as well as the maximum income. So you're gonna see 100% of 2020 AMI, 100% of 2019 AMI. And that just means that your income can't be above this threshold. And before we look at the rest of the buyer eligibility, let's click on the actual listing itself. Wow, look at this, beautiful. This would probably go for $900,000 if this was on the open market. I wish they had more pictures. Let's find another one. Why do these pictures suck? But as you can see, these are nice buildings and you probably wouldn't be able to get these for that price unless it was in the BMR program. All right, let's look at some eligibility. So first thing is you have to be a first-time home buyer. So you can't have had any ownership interest in any residential property for the last 3 years. So even if you're renting now and you buy out-of-state rental properties, you do not qualify for this. You can't even be a real estate flipper because if you flip houses, then for that short period of time, you have held ownership interest in a residential property. So I don't qualify, most of my friends don't qualify, but there are a lot of people out there who are first-time home buyers and have never owned anything before. They do qualify. Second thing is you have to do some study work. You have to do home buyer education courses before you have to be there in person for 6 hours and a 2-hour orientation. But now because of COVID-19, everything's online. So there's one good thing about our shelter-in-place mandate. And here is the most important part. You can't exceed your area median income for the unit. So remember back here where I showed that your max income has to be like 100% of 2020 AMI, 100% of 2019 AMI. So what you do is you go here and you click on this link for area median income, and you're gonna get this chart. So this chart shows how much income you have by size. There's a 2019 chart and a 2020 chart. So if you look at 2019 AMI for one person and you look at 100% of the median, which is right here, basically you cannot exceed this number. You cannot have made more than $86,200 in 2019 before taxes. If you happen to have a significant other or you're buying it with another person, like your sister or your brother, then combined, your income can have exceeded $98,500. And this scales as you increase your household size. And I think, this also includes your kids and whatnot. So if you're a single individual, it's this much. If you have a child, then it's this much. And the way they calculate your household income is they'll use your total annual income from all your sources and then project it 12 months forward, or they just look at your total gross income from all your sources earned last year. And they'll adjust your actual household income based on the level of savings, investments, or other liquid assets. So basically you can't just have a bunch of money and then have no income, because then they'll look at, oh, you still have $10 million in your bank account. You don't qualify for this either. So they'll look at your remaining liquid assets, multiply it by 10%, and add that to your total household income. So if you have $1 million, then you're already going to assume that you have an additional $100,000 a year in household income. This property also has to be owned as an owner-occupant. You can't just rent out the unit. And the household size requirement is that you have to have a minimum of one person per bedroom. So a single person cannot just buy a 2-bedroom condo unit. Children count, but unborn children do not count. Now, the second one is the financing requirements. So your minimum down payment is 3%, and they can come from gift funds. So you can have like an uncle or parent pay for that. Minimum loan to value ratio is 50%. Maximum combined loan to value ratio is 97%. So that means that they won't finance the property if you only need 40%, and the max they'll do is 97%, which is the same as saying that you have a minimum of 3% down payment. Debt ratios, no longer than 28, no higher than 40%. Honestly, if you satisfy the income requirement, then you're probably going to be good enough to get a loan for these properties. You have to get financing from one of these approved lenders. So go and click on this link, and you're going to see a huge list of all the approved lenders here. So the restrictions are for the life of the property. Before, I actually thought that you could own a BMR and then hold it for 20 or 30 years and then eventually own it yourself. But it seems that in San Francisco, the property is under BMR restrictions for the life of the property. So it's great for you if you want to buy it, live in it, and then when you have enough money in the future, you can move on to a bigger property. There's really no reason to hold on to a BMR longer than you feel comfortable living one, because you don't have any gain in the future. Like, you can't rent it out for market rate, and you definitely can't sell it at market value, even if you hold it for 55 years. This varies from city to city, so definitely do your own research on each city and see if that changes. So going back to restrictions, you have to live in it, you cannot rent it out. Title restrictions, the MOHCD must approve of all changes on a title on a BMR home. So let's say you get married in the future and you want to add your spouse, then you have to send that to the city and then they're going to approve it. Inheritance is limited here. You can transfer it to your heir, and the heir has to satisfy all the BMR requirements, including living in it as an owner occupancy. And the transferee must do this within 1 year, otherwise they have to sell it. So let's go into selling the house, which is really important as well. So the resale process is also pretty complicated, and this part confuses me because BMRs are so easy to sell. It seems like you still have to find a realtor to list it, and you still have to add a 5% base to the resale price to pay for both realtors, which doesn't really make sense to me because BMRs are done on a lottery scale and they're in such demand. According to a recent study, the chance of you getting a BMR is about 1 to 70. So it's very competitive and you don't even have a great chance of getting it. So why do you need a realtor for this? So you find a realtor, your realtor sends a price request to the mayor's office, then the city will tell you how much you can sell your home for. It's regulated, you can't choose what you're going to sell for. And in about 30 days, the mayor's office will get back to you and tell you how much you can sell your home for. You gotta prepare your home just like any other listing, make it look nice, put on the MLS, host open houses, and then this specific realtor will help the buyers submit their lottery applications. It's a little bit different because normally in a traditional home sale, the way you win an offer is by making the best bid, whether it's the highest price or the most compelling offer, clean offer with no contingencies, it's all cash. Here, it's a lottery. So it doesn't even seem like the sellers can even choose who they want to win the house. They just have to get picked by lottery. If they win the lottery, then the buyer will have to show their conditional approval letter within 15 days. And then if they're not conditionally approved, then they have 5 days to appeal it. And if it still fails, then the mayor's office will move on to the next ranked buyer's application. Essentially, the city is going to be taking care of the purchase and sale portion of the property. You as the homeowner are going to get some appreciation from buying and selling the home, but it's going to be limited. You're not going to be able to get as much as if you were to put it on the open market. And for the most part, most of the pricing is going to be about what you paid for it, plus some fraction of the consumer price index of inflation. So let's say inflation was up 3%, then they're going to say, oh, your property appreciated by 1% every year, and that's how much you can sell it for. So definitely some downsides to owning a BMR. So I know this is a very complicated topic, and definitely something that most people will never encounter in their life. But for those of you who have a below average income and have never purchased a property before, this could be your way to get some real estate. I hope this is all clear for you. If not, please leave a comment down below with what I could do to clarify on the subject. I'm also going to add the links down in the description below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos just like this one. And if you guys have any real estate professional needs, please contact me. I'm free to chat anytime. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.